okay, that's good. What's it feel like to be a grain of sand in the desert and the centre of the universe all at the same time? This is freaking insane. Isn't it a beautiful thing? I've got a few tunes for you. I'm going to put them up around the wall. I'm just going to see where we end up. This is called 23 Wake Up. Don't know whether it'll make any sense to you, but we'll see. Hey there, is that you over there, dear? Floating in the air, dear. It's okay. Silver shimmering around you. Now that it has found you, it's going to stay. See you flying all around here, swooping up the ocean. You're so happy and light, laughing, juggling the cymbals, dodging all the gimbals into wriggle bay. Now time is the only how time, the flow and go time, for there's only one day. Feel it, it's so close you can touch it. All we have to do is wake up. See him over on the footpath, sitting on the sidewalk, holding sign 23. Hey man, can you spare a little change there? Why the 23 sign? Don't know, it just works for me. We're pushing up a mountain, Sisyphus mountain. No insane down in the valley. Have a drink with Sally. Then back on the board. Hey there, it doesn't really matter, said the Mad Hatter. Why should anyone care? We're all playing with the joker, giving to the broker, when there's not much to spare. We will never pay this, nothing will mind us. It was all out of hand. We'll just get ourselves together, shelter from the weather, and start a new band. Yeah, hey there, doesn't really matter, said the Mad Hatter. Let's all go out and play. Now time is the only how time, the flow and go time, 'cause there's only one time. Thank you so much. Here's one of the old Artifact album. Wicked wet drop flattens 20 quanges with his nose, whinges as he busts the glass and through the window goes. It appears, he moaned, I'm rather stoned and falling super free. Farewell, I'm dead. You ain't, said Fred, you rolled off the settee. The glass view world of wicked wet drops, quanges short and tall, and pink and green, forget-me-nots, and ticklish threads, and all, and be easily seen by anyone prepared to make a stand to have pumpkin-eating blackbirds designated to the band. this clip and have a sip of light grey melancholy. I've watched the tiny flattened quange with 7 sticks of holly. He used to have 14, you know, or so the story goes. I'm glad you're here with Christmas cheer stuck firmly in your nose. It appears, said Mick at Metro in a voice from underground, you've got both my initials written upside down. Come on. Root-a-toot and flute-a-flute and tittle-twiddle-twee. The distant sound of blackbirds paddling slowly out to sea. Seated solemn on a stone, we raised our cups of tea. G'day, said Wicked Wet Drop, Tiny Flattened Conch, and me. This one here is called Absolutely Free, and it's kind of a combination of a real problem with smartphones, you know, because you love them and you're addicted, and you know the amount of time in there. And the other one is it's connected to swimming in the ocean, because my beautiful lady Barb sort of taught me how to swim about 15 years ago, and you know, sharks and waves and undercurrents and shit. And then I got into it, and all of a sudden I found I could go way out to sea and not give a shit, because all people swim with sharks, and sharks get a really rough, you know. I hate the marketing rap that sharks get. It's not fair. But anyway, the song is called Absolute Free, and it goes a bit like this. I'll get it in a minute. Eventually, the world is full of eyeballs, gently spinning sky balls, global roaming spy balls peering down on you, watching while we're playing, reading what you're saying, mindlessly relaying all you say and do, all you say and do. Be sure to do the right thing, the beautiful and bright thing, right out in the open underneath the blue. But if you feel uncertain, stay behind the curtain. You never can be sure just who is watching you. But now we have the smartphone, monitor your heartphone, never shall we part phone, needing us to play, seeking our connection, this model of perfection, knowing our intention each moment of the day. So if you're in a crisis, leave all your devices, swim out in the ocean, mingle with the sea. We're a part of nature, floating will create the motion that'll make you absolutely free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free, man. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. Yeah. I'll do this one for Jamie. I stood on the top of a cliff overwater and felt myself drawn to the edge. Knew I ought to step back, but I couldn't. It sucked me right in. It felt good. I went up. I was slightly aware of a very small feeling of terrification somewhere in my stomach. But generally speaking, the foremost sensation was that a complete peace of mind. I kicked off my clothes because I just didn't need them, and I soaked up the sun of my newly found freedom. I was one with the cosmos, with nothing to say to the building society so far away in the bank, 'cause I don't money to the bills I hadn't paid. Oh, the trivial fucking pocket fines and the women who I'd laid. Oh, sorry, sending me for something. Oh, that I couldn't understand. The court of petty sessions, my commitment to the band. I stood on the top of a cliff over water, felt myself drawn to the edge, knew I ought to step back, but I couldn't. It sucked me right in. It felt good. I went up. I was slightly aware of a very small feeling of terrification somewhere in my stomach, but generally speaking, the foremost sensation was that of complete peace of mind. I kicked off my clothes because I just didn't need them. Soaked up the sun of my newly found freedom. I was one with the cosmos, with nothing to say to the building society so far away. Yeah. Well, here's a little thing about, this conflict between ego and the other. Man, I've had it in my life. My God, the bloody ego, like, as a younger person, I had to deal with that shit, but it was all part of the deal, wasn't it? I mean, we got it. And the important part of getting by, making a buck, and doing all that shit. And I honour mine, for all the lessons it's taught me. But sometimes I look around at the puffed up importance of so many people, and I don't leave myself out of that. So this is called importance anyway. Waffle. Sometimes I look around and think that life is sweet and easy. Life is sweet and easy, and the future's coming last. So now I skip along the street, bless the earth beneath my feet, smile at everyone I meet, and think about the past. But only for a moment, it don't last. Sometimes I sit around and think I'm a very important person, from many a mile around. But all the time I'm thinking that I'm growing old and getting fat, pondering the nature of this very important sound. I'll keep your feet right on the ground. Sometimes I take a plane right up to 30,000 feet, 30,000 feet, and I press eject a seat. And as I'm floating past my toe, I see my father down below, drawing circles in the snow. I know we're gonna meet. I wave my hand so he knows we're all sweet. I wave my hand so he knows we're all sweet. Sometimes I look about and think the world is in a muddle. The world is in the muddle, and the birds are in the tree. The birds are flying in there now. I'd love to be with them somehow, making music on the bough for anyone to see. Then all muddle rolls away from me. Sometimes I like to stand between the chaos and the order, straddling the border when nothing's ever sure. See if we can fix the song where wrong is right and right is wrong. Take your time, but don't be long. It's nearly 4:30. Then life continues on forevermore. Life continues on forevermore. That's right. Life continues on forevermore. Thanks, folks. So, I've got people here today who I deeply love and who are responsible for me sitting here right now and having been dragged out of the woodwork. And you know, Scotty Hinshaw Smith somewhere, I found him today and he sort of recast the old album and many years ago now, and I don't know how many it was, 2014 or 15 or something. And we put out this old album again, also into a new album, and things moved on. And then, and thank you, Scotty, so much for even fronting up today. It's really, really sweet. And then Jamie down here, and Zach who totally extracted me from the woodwork. And I love these dudes, I have to tell you. Because it's like when you've been screwing around doing all these other things for a buck, and then because you know you were playing music a long time ago and you went somewhere else, and all of a sudden you come back to it and you realise that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I've had to pick it up and it's been a real pleasure. So now I'm this old bastard who lives on an island, grows vegetables, writes songs and shares the love. And this is about sharing the love. Should we do Village Hill now? So I should have mentioned that first. And I won't bother to say anything about it. It's just it's called Village Hill. Yesterday we're feeling dreary. Mind was limp and body ill. Thought I'd take a walk up to the top of Village Hill. About me leather jacket, army boot, and nearly soon plunged me out of dingy household into golden afternoon. Oh, Zach was me with all the birdies and filled my head with birdie song. The skylark, sparrow, blackbird, dear not did to sing along. Wintry sun was slowly sinking, making way for wintry moon, and wintry legs worked hard to catch it, climbed that orange afternoon. Nor did we simply walk sedately to the top of Village Hill. It jumped and leapt and danced and wept and cried toward that birdie trill. The woods, these ears against their trunks, told knowledge of their own. Our tiny seeds, some mighty trees that many years had grown. Our branches are the woodwinds for the air to play, said one. Now make haste, poor rootless creature, you must catch the setting sun. What was then we left behind the trees and, rooted rootless, climbed the last leg of the rocky knoll to see what eyes might find. And upon the very summit lay a single silver tree, a forgotten and fallen sentinel, remembered now by he who stood there. With the village in our palm of outstretched hand, and we stood on fallen sentinel and looked far into the land to where many distant hills and valleys disappeared into the sky, and beneath this dome of indigo, he held his head up high. And the north wind blew and hard and strong, and shouted a voice into these ears, and she gave this and runny nose and made this fill up with tears and swept them back into this hair which lifted, swirling everywhere. Thanks so much, Zach. I freaking want to do more. Yeah, cool. All right. How am I going for time? It must be...
Yeah, 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Yay!
Boo! So the funny thing for me, if you... because we did this old album in 74 or something crazy. I'm that freaking old, I just tell you. And... but it's all cool. And we didn't really... It went off and it went to various places, little nooks and crannies, because there weren't many of them. And then, you know, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, my son sent me a link. And there was this thing on eBay selling for ridiculous money. And I'm suddenly reading about, you know, my name, you know, Eynon this and Eynon that. And I think, oh, shit, you know, what's going on here? And it was all very sort of shocking. And but then I understood that the genre that these unknown people had put me in was psychedelic acid folk. And I didn't know that, and so I thought, well, I better write a psychedelic acid folk song. So this thing came out. I saw a chair that wasn't there and bumped onto the floor. And from this point of vantage, surveyed the kitchen door shut. But at the bottom, light and sound was coming through. But we could not move the body, couldn't tell it what to do. Then something cut the thread that had us tethered to the floor, and we quietly floated upward right through the kitchen door. Nothing really special, preparation for a feast. But we did not feel like eating, no, we could not touch the beast. We tried to call out something to some people who were there, but they didn't seem to notice, didn't seem to hear. Then we were floating just above there in an aromatic steam, and that was when we thought that this was possibly a dream. Whoa. So we tried to wake the body by leaning to the side and rocking back and forth, but all that movement made us glide straight through the kitchen window and out into the night, where the stars were coloured traces and the moon was out of sight. Then something came upon us and it gave us little warning. We fell into eternity and woke up in the morning. We found ourselves sitting out on the sand, staring out to sea, whispering the words aloud, what will be, will be. The sun came up from under the world, singing a sun song. Someone in the village just behind sounds a morning gong. And it really didn't matter, the clanging and the clatter, the shrieking of the sirens and the rat-a-tat-a-tatter, all the people on the planet running pitter-pitter-patter. It really doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter. For nothing in this universe could possibly be wrong. Thanks so much, guys. Well, I've got time for maybe one more, I guess, and blah, 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 blah. Dave, could I have a little tiny bit less, yes, at the end of the set, a little bit less fallback on the guitar?